Hey everyone, doing a market update. So doing an outlook for the market for this week. So we're in the last week of the year. Today is Monday, the 27th of December. So let's jump on some charts and let's have a look. All right, so with the dollar, let's go to the daily time frame. Obviously, I think since the end of November, since around the 24th, 25th of November, we've been very, very sideways on the dollar. Like I've been saying now, since then, I'm looking at an overall corrective move lower. Okay, right now we are ranging. So as I've been saying for the last few weeks, continue to trade the range until we see the breakout. But we are, we did push up into 96.8, 97 region. I've covered this numerous times. Go back and watch the old videos. We've pushed up in 96.8, 97 region, failed to break above 96.8, and have since began this whole sort of consolidation phase of the market. Now we have had this very big impulsive move. Look at the weekly time frame. We've had this very impulsive move up, and we've hit this key level of 96.8, 97. So part of the reason I'm expecting a corrective move is because overall we just need to see the dollar correct. Not only because is it hitting this key level, but we just need to see it correct. It's been on this such a impulsive move higher that it needs to come down. Even if it's back down to 95 or even 90.55, we need to see some sort of pullback on the dollar, and right now the weekly and daily is showing signs of that. But again, never married to a bias. Trade what we see, not what we think. We are very, very sideways. So until we see the actual breakout, continue to trade the range. Meaning if this was to come down here, I would be looking to see if we can get some bullish moves here. Obviously, we don't trade the DXY. We don't trade the dollar index. We use it as a confluence for our other pairs, such as like Euro USD, USD CAD, GBP USD. But again, use that information to your advantage. Going and looking at other pairs, CAD JPY, big move last week. So what I'm looking for right now coming into this week, let me go to the 4 hour. So last week I did share this setup here. I said to look out for this. It literally did that. It was very, very quick. Okay, it was around market close, which kind of makes it a little difficult to trade, but it did give the entry that I shared to look for after pushing down in 87.5. Right now, what I'm sort of seeing is it's floating between structure. Okay, let me just go to the daily here real quick. It made this daily W pattern at 88. Okay, which is very, very important. We know overall this pair is very, very bullish. So I am actually expecting this to continue up higher from here. So what I'd be looking for is right now it's floating between this 90 level and 88.5. I'd be looking to see if this can maybe pull back down this week into 88.5. Oh, sorry, not 88, 89.5 to see if we can maybe get a nice retest and respect this price level to push back up into 90 and then higher. Now, in order for us to move higher, we need to break 90. 90 is a very big level for this pair because, again, as I always say, we're never married to a bias. We trade what we see, not what we think. What could always happen is we could always see this push back up into 90 and then reverse. We need to keep that option on the table. We do not want to count that off because if you're just looking for buys, and this was to form, you're just not going to see it because your mindset is going to be focused on the buy setup. Okay, so make sure if price does this whole buy setup, you could even look to hedge it, meaning you take the buy from here and then the sell from here if the price action is there, obviously. So this is what I'd be looking for. But until then, what could always happen, guys, is this could either push back up in the 90 from here, come back down and do that. Okay, right now it's between structure. And as I always teach my students is if price is floating between structure, it's in no man's land, just let it be. You don't look at it. Maybe set alerts above and below this zone or below this zone here, above this zone. So that way when price does eventually push up into your zone or push down into your zone, that is when you can begin to monitor. Until then, just let it do its thing and let it pull back down. It is the last week of the year, okay, which generally speaking is somewhat of a quieter week. But guys, like last week was the week of Christmas and we did amazing trades. We caught some amazing trades on EU, EN, and GU. Easily could, if you I know many of you are trying to get funded, easily could have passed 2 FTMO accounts last week just on those trades, easily. Okay, so I understand that volatility might be lower this week, but does not mean you cannot get 1 or 2 good trades. If my mindset is, if the market is open, I'm trading. I love to trade, so this is what I'm doing. But again, if you're back testing, you don't know if it's a holiday week or whatever it is. You just continue trading, right? You're rolling through price. You let price come to you, and then you strike once price gives you what you want. Another pair to look at, your NZD USD. I shared this last week. Price came down, tested again. Obviously took a lot longer, but either way, the setup has now since played out. If this can maybe test again, it might not. If this can test again here at 0.68, like this, then I'd be looking for a buy from this level, okay? Now, this is the entry that I also shared last week, playing out to a T. This, I actually have this set to go up to 0.718 here, which I've talked about. If you go back and watch some of the previous videos, you understand why. But again, in order for us to see this move higher, we need to see a significant move on the dollar down, okay? Either we need to see some significant NZD strength, or we need to see the dollar take a nosedive, which would then push this up. Because again, if you're looking at this on like the daily time frame, I know we're overall very, very bearish, but I'm looking at this at least kind of to 0.685, and if we can break this, I'd be looking to see if we can make, you know, back up to 0.718 region, sort of come back through this region of price here, which is a very, very long-term sort of outlook, but I mean, definitely achievable, okay? I mean, that is a huge, I mean, it's really not that big of a trade, to be honest. It's only 400 pips, which for NZD USD is a pretty significant move, but still, you know, just it's definitely possible. Even if it doesn't come to here, I'd be looking at 0.705 to retest structure around this region. Okay, another pair I want to start covering now, just because I'm not really a fan of USD CHF, USD Swiss. I want to look at USD JPY. Honestly, what I'd be looking at here, guys, is if price, whoops, let me just adjust this back over. If price can push back up into this 115 region, what I'd be looking for is I'd be seeing if we can maybe push back up in here to come back down and retest structure here at 114,200. And then from there, we figure out our next move, whether it's up higher or if it will break lower. So this needs to push up quite a bit more, up into 115, and then we need price action for it. But that is what I'd be looking at right now for this pair, or at least coming into this week, is to see how it reacts around 115. If this was to blow through 115 and close above and retest, I'd be looking at this to take it to 115.5. Okay, but keep in mind, if we do see a bearish move on the dollar, then if it does respect 115, we could even see a bigger move down from here. But let's have a look at the daily real quick. I mean, I'm not really a fan of this pair. I find it to be very, very slow. But I know many of you trade it, so many of you have been messaging me on Instagram asking me to update on it. So here it is. Again, see how simple and clean my charts are. Like, just everything's focused on recent price action. Nothing crazy here. No trend lines, no fibs. Obviously, I do use them, but they're more of a final confluence for targets, really, than not really for entries. Okay, I very rarely use trend lines or fibs. It's very, very rare. Okay, so that's what I'll be looking at here to see what price does around this region. Let me just see if I can maybe bring this down a bit. Yeah, I'll be going with that. Okay, so I mean, you can see it's kind of tapping the structure here, but again, I'd want to see another push up into structure, exhaust on the lower time frame, such as the 15, the 30, or the 1 hour, and then maybe some patterns. And then from there, you can possibly look for the sell, but we need price action for that first. AUD USD, again, not really another pair I trade. I don't really trade any of these. I trade CAD JPY, but what I'd be looking for here is to see if this can give another retest of structure for a possible buy. But again, we need to see a move lower on the dollar in order to kind of give NZD USD and AUD USD a push higher. Today is the 27th, so I'll update you guys. Today's Monday, so I will update you guys on either Wednesday or Thursday based on the price action we see. Have a great week, guys. Remember to use risk management. I always suggest 1%, nothing more. Have a great week. I appreciate all the messages, and I will chat to you guys soon.